Hello there. I am back with an addendum to the any percent tutorial that I just uploaded yesterday because I already found something new that saves quite a bit of time. We're talking 10 to 20 seconds, which is pretty significant. Basically, what I found was that I basically found a method for hijacking the Allied Blackhawks that are around the Allied HQ after ante-up without wasting a bunch of time. So I already experimented with this before, but it always just ended up being slower than just driving to the 9 of clubs. But I found a way to make it faster. So that's what this video is going to showcase. So in the upper left corner is the current world record for any percent done by Sniper's Bend. That's what we're going to be using as the point of comparison for this new strat. So at the onset here, things are pretty much the same. This is not a perfect comparison because, obviously execution differences and whatnot, but it'll be good enough for our purposes. So the first thing that's different is right here there's an Allied soldier to the right, and we're going to want to drive over and run him over. That's pretty easy. Sometimes he can dodge you, but this next guy's much harder. So I kind of let go of the throttle there so that the Humvee doesn't bounce over the curbs like I kind of just did right there. And yeah, those guys, getting both of those guys on the drive up to the Allied HQ and also having to again count them as faction losses is pretty difficult. Then you want to shoot these 3 guys, and you do want to, it is important to shoot them left to right. If you go for the middle guy first, the game often just won't register that as a faction loss. Probably because it's like a stealth kill because the guy is facing away from you. But I've found that if you go for the left guy first, then you have a much better chance of all 3 kills, or at least 2 of them, counting as a reputation loss. So you only need, I think, 4 of the kills to register. You might be able to get by with 3, but I think you need 4. And the idea here is we want their mood to be low enough so that the mood boost we get from finishing this contract doesn't push us into the friendly territory with the Allies. And the point of that is so that we can commandeer their helicopters that are flying around. And if you're not low enough, there is a bit of a safety strat you can do when you get out, when you finish this contract and get out of the HQ, you can kill a soldier or 2 to get them to neutral, then you can save or load to just spawn at the Allied HQ again and then go for a helicopter. The reason you can't just go for a helicopter right away is because if you run around and kill Allied soldiers, the helicopters will actually be hostile to you. And if they're hostile, you can't hijack them until you kill both of the gunners in the helicopter, which would waste a bunch of time. So it's probably faster if you need to just save and load after killing a few guys to get the mood right than it would be to try to actually kill the gunners of a Blackhawk or something. So yeah, when you get out of the HQ here, you just kind of aim somewhere safe and fire an RPG. This will do helo fishing. It'll get all the Blackhawks that are in the area to start coming toward you. I started going for this one down south, but there's actually a better opportunity that I changed to. You want to make sure you don't accidentally hit any soldiers or even the HQ or civilians with these rockets that you're firing off, because if you do, again, you could turn these helicopters hostile against you, and then you won't be able to commandeer them like I just did. So after you commandeer it, you're going to fly just basically directly north. And if you fly in at the correct trajectory, you can actually just kind of splat, like you can land on the 9 of clubs to kill him. And then, but this is kind of tricky. I don't think this is going to be super consistent. Right here is pretty optimal though, even though I got stuck on a tree. Because now you can do a stun grenade for the animation skip and then take this Jeep to drive over to the scout helicopter. And then after you get the scout helicopter, you're going to want to get a disguise, because we need to pick up another thing I found was that there's actually a heavy weapons drop that spawns in on the game world, which includes an anti-tank missile launcher, which we never knew about before. So we were always relying on just the RNG of allies spawning. If you fly down here, this is where you get your disguise, by the way, under this bridge. Then you're going to want to ascend as quickly as possible. But yeah, so basically we don't need to rely on the RNG anymore of those soldiers. Just having AT missiles, we can just always get one from one of either of these 2 boxes. They both have AT missiles in them. So what I do is I come down and I winch this, and then I fly this over to the next guy, blowing up the SAM on the way. And I actually I fail here, but I try to use the box to actually kill the number card. But then I do not release the winch because I don't want the box to fly over the tracks, and I want it to stay near my helicopter. So since I failed to actually hit him with that, I just beat him down. And then I struggle here to pick up the anti-tank missile launcher. But you can see how much faster this is. I mean, look how far ahead I am from Sniper's run. And that is even with, like, I actually did edit his run a bit to have some more optimal, like I cut out some of the time losses. So this should say like 10 to 20 seconds. I'm not sure exactly what the time save was because it was really difficult to get this footage, but yeah, good stuff.